Welcome back to an off-season edition of Picking and Streaming. It is your favorite two, Co-Commish in the buildings. What's up with that? You got to tell them, bro. Show them what it is.
What? Let's go. Some
Regs,
little Jamar Chase.
Reg season scoring champ. Never looked better on you. Damn, I'm jealous. I wish I had one. Guys, Co-Commish is very graciously offered his time so we could record a quick impromptu reaction and summer summit voting update. So without further ado, boys, let's get into it. I know we've been itching to see how the votes went out. And I guess two up top, just and Co-Commish, feel free to chime in on this if you have something else to add. The logic behind adoption rules and on screen you can see the reminder is that we're going for a super majority every time. We know not everybody's always going to agree on everything, but something we wanted to keep in mind is like we want most of the league to want something before we change it. We don't want to be averse to change, but we just want to make sure it's what everybody wants, and we don't always get swept up in the moment. That said, sometimes we have to make some judgment calls, and hopefully you guys have, after all these years, had the faith in us to make those calls when needed. And this voting period is going to have a little bit of that in there. So if you guys are uncomfortable or if you're happy with how we've interpreted that, I mean, feel free to speak up. The league's about everybody. And so we just want to make sure we're always operating in everyone's best interest and trying to make the league better. So anything else you want to add on to that?
No, just, adding on, like, we really care about everybody's opinion in this league. So really every vote does matter.
Okay. So first vote that came up was this championship ring allocation. So should we keep the championship ring as part of the prize structure was the vote. So raw votes were 7. Let's return it back to the pot. There was one voter who said, I want to keep the ring in terms of which button they clicked, but they provided additional feedback that was to say, hey, instead of the ring, can we do a different type of prize? Which, since this topic is about the ring and we could use the cash from the pot to do something else, we're interpreting that vote as actually meaning to have said, I don't want the ring. So that's going to move that vote into the same category as the other 7, making this a yes. And so this approved. We're abolishing the ring. There will be more on additional items later in here, but just for the sake of this vote, the ring's gone. Co-Commish, any opinion on that? You were going to be the first person to buy the ring, so you're the first person this would affect. What do you think?
I think it makes sense. Like, more money in everybody's pocket isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I don't think anyone will go home kind of pissed off.
Okay. Straightforward one, Commish. You want to take this one for us?
Yeah, so for the incorporating the bingo, this one was just the unanimous 8, the supermajority of 8 out of 10. It's been approved. Nothing really else to say here. Should be exciting. I'm curious as to what we come up with, what maybe we get approved for the bingo card items or challenges. So it'll be fun.
I'm right there
Yeah,
with you.
I'm kind of stoked.
I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to open up a lot of just more fun in the league, just some things to try out. So I'm excited.
And it appeals to some of us gambling goons out there.
some
degenerates.
Okay, boys, buckle up with us for the next 2. I'll take this one first. Would you like to add league median? You guys are reading ahead. That's fine. What you're reading now is that the raw vote was actually a 7 out of 10. That said, talking about it further with Co-Commish, I've changed my vote, which wasn't originally a no, to be a yes to allow a trial run here. So we're considering this a probationary approval. That means next year, this is not a lock to be in the league. It has to win another vote to stick around, which is slightly different than some of our other approvals. But this is a case where I'm changing my vote to allow a trial. So that's why. I guess that's just how we're justifying giving it a trial run.
Mhm.
To be as transparent as possible, guys. I originally voted no. I totally got the idea that like it's more fun to have more games like mean something, and I get the fun piece of it. I want to make sure that whenever we're changing something, we're doing it with an eye on improving the league and making the change something that makes the league better. In some ways that's fun, in some ways that's making the rules make more sense so that we're closer to what the standard is or whatever it may be. That said, we talked about it. We don't want to be the kind of league that never tries things, and we don't want to be the kind of league that's always left behind and saying no to everything. So we wanted to do this one in good faith and see how this goes. And this was our happiest medium we could come up with. So league median is in. Any initial reactions,
And
Kokamish?
no, just crazy. I know Goat's been the biggest
Advocate.
advocate for league median, so he better be doing backflips after this.
Yeah, right. We want to see a flurry of posts
Yeah,
from
literally.
him in the chat. And then with the fourth rounder, Kokamish, I'll let you get into this one and we can just kind of tag team the fallout from what this topic comes from.
Yeah, so for the fourth round, we didn't get the supermajority. It was a 7-10 vote. So pretty much with the would you like to add the fourth rounders, it would basically add a fourth round pick to your rookie draft, just to give a little bit more information there. For this one, I think we came to a conclusion that I think based off of the league median taking into effect, some managers maybe might want to rethink their vote, and maybe it might help giving us that supermajority. Or on the flip side, some managers are like, you know what, because we have league median, maybe we don't want to do the rookie fourth round draft pick. Anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, I would say that, like, just echoing what Kokamish is saying, don't understate how big a change league median can be. I know with the analysis that Joey did, that Chili Bowl did for league median, only 2 teams would have swapped places. So it wasn't like the impact was so great in terms of or not great, but just like severe or significant in the past. But it's a philosophical change still to have league median, right? Because the theory behind league median, aside from the fun part, is that you're trying to weigh the standings a little more based on performance than luck. So bad teams, your dog day, the one day that you come up with an upset, may not have as much impact as it used to, right? If you're a low scoring team who gets a lucky win, you're going to get that weighted down, and vice versa. You're a good scoring team who gets an unlucky loss, that's going to be weighted accordingly too. So just keep that philosophy in mind when you reconsider the rookie fourth round, because the theory behind the fourth round is that we're saying, 1, there's enough players to have a fourth round, and 2, we want to give priority to the bad teams to get their guys first. So if we feel like those 2 things align well, like if we're saying league median is going to make bad teams more likely to stay bad, then do we also want to help the bad teams? Or if you feel like in another, and you could take this however you want, if you feel like I don't want to make so many changes in one off season, that's fine. If you feel like I still want to give everybody a chance to get rookies. That's fine. You guys can have your opinion, but I just wanted to echo Kokamish and why we made the choice to let's resubmit this one for a vote, because this does have some fallout, some trickle down from the league median. So just make sure you guys take into consideration how you're going to strategize with league median and if that sways your vote one way or another on how you feel about the fourth round. So that is where we ended up on the ballot items. We had a couple things that came in as suggestions, and I have a phone alarm just to make sure that I do this recording. So my bad. But yeah, so we got some suggestions in here, and just for these, I mean, let's just do some live read and react here. I went through and pre-put some responses in. Kokamish has not seen these yet. So the first suggestion was, can we extend our trade deadline to start of the playoffs? We talked about this one on the summit a little bit.
Yeah.
I did not, as a good commish, go back and talk to this voter again just to make sure we were aligned. Today, the deadline is till the end of the season, right before the playoffs start. So there may be some semantics here we need to clear up, but I will do better, and I will talk to this person to make sure we're aligned. Next one, never lock free agency. Make it daily waivers always. Allows gamesmanship and unique strategies instead of always just gatekeeping player pickups. Today, the waivers are a little slower to allow for a little bit of like a fantasy life balance, because sure, we're DGens and we can all check the waivers and the news every day and put something every day. I think we're all capable of it. I think it's been a little more lax because you guys know how it is. We're all grown. We have a mix of kids, and everybody's got their own jobs where maybe they can't always check the app every day. So that's kind of why we started there. But I think we're open to it. Kokamish, how do you feel? Like if the league wanted it, would you be open to faster moving waivers all like year round?
Yeah, I'm open to it as well. Off season, I'm fine with slower waivers, but during the season, I think everybody's in maybe one or two other leagues that their waivers might be open potentially. So, I mean, I think this league is competitive enough to where outside of their family factors and life factors, I think everybody puts a good amount of time into fantasy football, and I don't think this is going to be something outside of their like what they currently do schedule, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
In general, with these suggestions too, guys, the point of bringing these up is so we can get the discussion started, because most of these are going to be, let's talk about it on the next ballot for the next summer summit. But it'd be good to have an eye forward and taking some of these suggestions into heart, because like, for example, the bingo card came up in the suggestions last year, and now it's being rolled out a year later because of the discussions we've had in between then and now. So adding a third flex, I think this has come up a little bit. It did on the summit. We just added the second one. Everybody who was on the call was more aligned to let's just see how the first year with the second flex goes. We're not opposed, but we just want to make sure we're upscaling the lineups and the rosters when necessary, and not just for the sake of it. So I think we're open. Let's just see how the second one goes first. Scoring ones came up. Roll in bonus points for 100-yard games, whether that's rushing, receiving, 300-yard passing games, long distance plays like catches and passes over a certain threshold, volume bonuses for receivers and running backs. So like a lot of just like performance bonuses for basically dominant stats. So I think no matter what, we're good adding it to the ballot to talk about. Initial reaction, how do you feel about it, Kokamish? You feel like there's some room for performance bonuses to spice up scoring?
I think there is. I think we're just gonna have to be cognizant of like, we don't want to bump up already high performing players. Like Jamar Chase may get 20 dump offs every game, so like you're only improving those already excellent players. So like if we implemented something like this, we have to maybe take into account maybe how do we like encourage the or like add more value to other players that maybe are lower in people's rankings. So that's
Yeah.
just maybe something to take into account. I
Super.
like it. And maybe if we don't actually add it, if this never passes through, maybe we include it into like some of our bingo
Challenges. Yeah.
challenges. Yeah.
It's a great point. I'm
Mhm.
super aligned. We didn't even have to talk about this one. It's just I'm open to changes that make more players valuable because it just helps the trade market and it makes more players interesting, more players viable, and could even lead to adding a third flex because if there's more players to use, then there's more players to put in the lineup. So I'm open to that as well. I think we just now start the conversation about which bonuses are good for the league.
Yeah.
So that's good. Instead of the ring, so this is what we talked about earlier. Let's do something different, like league socks, custom championship pin that you can put on a hat, something like that. I'm just saying this right now. If we're doing the bingo card, and the point of the bingo card is to do small payouts per challenge accrued, I'll sponsor my bingo card item to be a payout of the socks or a pin every year. That way we just automatically have some room for some cash payouts. We got a nice like tangible token type payout somewhere. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm super happy to basically take my 25 and whatever the difference is for like shipping or whatever, it'll be negligible, and turn my payout for whatever my challenge is into something like this, that every year it's like the sock bowl or whatever to get that challenge.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Kokomish, in like initial reaction, what do you think about having something like that in there?
No, I think that's fair. I mean, I think let's see how the bingo card goes, and then we'll play around with it here or there. But it sounds fun, right? Like that's again appeals to our degen nature.
And maybe we find out through experimentation, like it's nice to get the money payouts, but sometimes you're like, man, I want them socks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna target that one. So we'll see. If y'all don't pick league median, I have deep considerations to send the rest of my team to Travis. I think we have a good idea of who submitted this. And I put collusion is not a joke, sir, but your roster is. See you in rivalry week if you have enough unsuspended players to suit up. So again, I'm calling. I think I know who sent that in. So we'll see. Glad we didn't foresee the madness, but
yeah,
I still might at the end of the year. So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean,
I got one thing though. Sorry.
Go. Yes,
go. With my other league, we mentioned the auto sub. I don't know if we touched on it at all during the chats, but I'm not like saying for or against auto subs. I just don't think that we've brushed on it from what I remember.
Yeah, I think because we didn't bring it up, it was just going to automatically be the same as it was last year. Which is, you get up to 3 auto subs and you get to wait, did we do 3?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna look it up right now, real time, boys. But what I do remember for sure is we had a big healthy discussion about should it be after a game starts or it has to be before the game starts, and we were on it has to be before. So if CMC plays on a Thursday, you can only have another 49er, or let's say the Raiders and the 49ers play Thursday, only from those teams. So you just equal start time or earlier, never later. That's for sure in. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, if anything, I just wanted to refresh people's minds on that is a thing that's coming in next year, and we really haven't talked about if we wanted to make adjustments, which I'm assuming
it was 3.
No one else. 3? Okay. Since no one else brought it up, I mean, we're just going to continue as it is, but maybe something to consider for next year.
Yeah, so if you guys want to go down from 3 to maybe just 1, or if you want to start the discussion for, hey, why can't I do players who play later instead of the same time or earlier? Throw it in the chat. That's the point of the suggestions piece of this is start the conversation so you can try to get a momentum going to get the rule change next year. So, cool. That was a good one. Thanks for bringing that up. Any other ones?
That's it.
All right, boys. Well, we popped in just to give you guys a quick little pod on the votes. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and we'll see you in the chats. Peace.
Peace.